Imagine this. You've been studying English for years. Textbooks, exams, online courses. You can read everything. You understand almost every word. But when someone looks into your eyes and asks a simple question, your mind goes blank. Your heart starts to beat faster, and all the words you've ever learned suddenly disappear into silence. You smile, pretending you didn't hear. You laugh, hoping they'll change the topic. But deep inside, a small voice whispers, "Why can't I speak? I know these words. Why can't they come out?" If this sounds like you, you're not alone. Every learner has walked through this quiet frustration, the gap between knowing and speaking, between grammar and life, between learning a language and living it. The truth is, it's not your fault. You were trained to study English, not to use it. You were taught to memorize rules, not to feel the rhythm of words. And that is why, no matter how long you study, your tongue still hesitates, like a bird afraid to fly. But here's what nobody told you. English is not difficult. English is not impossible. The wall between you and fluency isn't grammar. It's fear. Fear of mistakes, fear of judgment, fear of being seen trying. And fear is nothing more than a story your mind keeps repeating. Today, we're going to change that story. We're going to speak before we feel ready. We're going to listen, copy, repeat, until English stops being a subject and becomes a second heartbeat. So if you're ready, take a deep breath. Forget everything you think you know about learning English, because from this moment on, you won't just study the language, you'll live in it. And once you live in it, you'll never forget it again. Mindset reset. Let's be honest, you're not bad at English. You're just afraid. Afraid of being wrong. Afraid of sounding strange. Afraid of being laughed at. Maybe you remember that moment in school when the teacher asked a question and your mind froze. Your tongue wanted to move, but fear wrapped around it like ice. And after that, you decided it was safer to stay quiet. But silence is not safety. Silence is a cage. Every time you stop yourself from speaking, your brain learns to hold back a little more. Until one day it becomes normal to understand everything, but say nothing. The first step to fluency is not grammar. It's courage. Because language is not only in your mouth, it's in your confidence. Remember when you were a child? You didn't wait to be perfect before you spoke. You said words badly. You made people laugh, but you kept talking. That's how every human learns. Every mistake was a door, not a failure. So today, I want you to break that old rule inside your head. The rule that says, I must speak perfectly before I can speak at all. Replace it with a new one. I can speak even if it's not perfect yet. Because fluency is not about perfection. It's about flow. If you keep waiting for the right words, you'll lose the rhythm. But when you speak freely, your brain begins to trust you again. Here's a simple 60-second exercise. Stand in front of a mirror. Look at yourself, not as a student, but as a learner in progress. Take a deep breath and say these sentences slowly, out loud. English is easy. I'm learning every day. My words are growing stronger. Don't rush. Don't whisper. Let your voice fill the room. Let your reflection hear you believe it. Because every time you say those words, your brain rewires a little, changing fear into focus, doubt into movement. When you speak, you're not only training your mouth, you're training your courage. And courage, once trained, becomes unstoppable. So, from today, promise yourself this. Never say, my English is bad. Never say, I can't. Say instead, I'm improving every day. Because that's the truth. Every word you speak is progress. Every attempt is proof you're growing. Fear will still whisper. Let it whisper. But you will speak louder, too. And when you do, you'll notice something magical. English begins to flow back to you, like a friend who was waiting for you to believe again. Surround yourself with English. Now that your fear is melting, it's time to bring English closer. So close that it becomes part of your world, part of your breath, part of your thoughts. You don't need to live in London or move to New York to become fluent. The truth is, you can build your English world right where you are, in your room, on your street, inside your mind. Start with something small. Change the language on your phone to English. Every time you open it, your eyes will see new words. Your brain will register new patterns. At first, it will feel strange, like walking through a familiar room where all the lights are suddenly new. But stay with that feeling. That slight confusion is how your brain grows. Next, begin to think in English. Don't translate. Just think simple thoughts, small sentences, daily moments, your ordinary life. When you wake up, don't think Mini Pie John wrong. Think, I need to brush my teeth. When you look outside the window, think, the sky looks bright today. When you drink your coffee, think, this coffee smells wonderful. Don't correct yourself. Just keep thinking. The more you think in English, the more your mouth will follow without effort. Another beautiful way to bring English closer is to talk to yourself. Out loud. Yes, talk to yourself. You might feel silly at first, but that's only because you've been taught to hide your voice. Now you're learning to use it. Stand in front of the mirror. Say, good morning. Ask yourself, how are you today? Answer, I'm fine. I have a lot to do, but I feel great. If you feel shy, close the door. But don't stay silent. Your mouth needs movement. Your brain needs rhythm. Your ears need the sound of your own English voice. Now, look around your room. Everything you see has a name. Door, table, cup, lamp, window, book. Take a few sticky notes. Write the names of these objects in English. Stick them where you can see them. Every time you touch them, say the word aloud. This is my book. The book is on the table. I open my book and read a story. You're not just memorizing. You're connecting words to life, language to movement, learning to emotion. That's how babies learn. That's how you will too. Not through pressure, but through presence. Now, I want you to pause for a moment. Look around you right now. Name 5 things you see in English. Whisper them if you must. Say them out loud if you can. Notice how your brain responds. It starts to hum, quietly, softly, as if saying, yes, this feels right. English isn't something outside of you. It's not a test waiting to judge you. It's a language that wants to belong to you. You just have to invite it in, to your phone, your thoughts, your space, your day. Create your own English world, where every sound, every word, every small whisper of your mind is touched by this language. And one morning, without even realizing it, you'll wake up, think, move, breathe, all in English. No translation, no fear, just flow. Because when English surrounds you, you no longer chase it. You live with it. Speak before you're ready. Now that English is part of your world, it's time to open your mouth. To speak, even if it feels too early. Even if your voice shakes a little. Because the truth is, confidence never comes before practice. Confidence comes after you begin. So don't wait until you feel ready. You might wait forever. Fluency doesn't belong to the perfect ones. It belongs to the brave ones, the ones who try, stumble, laugh, and try again. I know that moment. The small silence before a sentence, when your mind says, "Don't speak yet, what if you're wrong?" But here's a secret. That small silence is where growth begins. Step into it. Speak through it. Start with your mornings. When you open your eyes, don't just scroll your phone. Say something, anything, even just, "Good morning, world. I feel alive today." Then, as you brush your teeth, say it in English. "I'm brushing my teeth." When you make your coffee, "I'm making coffee. It smells amazing." When you open the window, the air feels fresh. The sun looks warm. Don't whisper these words in your head. Say them with your mouth, because every time your tongue moves, your brain builds new connections. That's how fluency is born, not from memorizing rules, but from using them in real moments. Now imagine this. You're in the kitchen with your mom. She's making breakfast, and you join her. Try to say this out loud. "Good morning, Mom. How did you sleep?" "I slept well. What are you making?" "Eggs and toast. Would you like some tea?" "Yes, please. I love tea in the morning." "Here you go." "Thank you. It smells wonderful." Pause here. Did you feel that? The warmth of small talk. Simple, ordinary, real. That's the language of life. That's English in motion. Later, you step outside. The day is bright. You walk to the market. Try this conversation. "Excuse me, do you have fresh tomatoes?" "Yes, right here." "How much is 1 kilo?" $2 per kilo." "Okay, I'll take 2. Anything else?" "Yes, some onions, please." "Here you go. That's $5 total." "Thank you. Have a nice day, reader." See, it's not a lesson. It's life. Each sentence is a small bridge between your world and theirs. And when you meet your friend, say it without fear. "Hey, how are you?" "I'm great, just relaxing." "Want to grab a coffee?" "Sure, let's go." When you sit together, practice again. "What do you want?" "I'll have a latte. What about you?" "I'll take a lemonade." "Great. Let's order." "Hi, 2 drinks, please." It's that simple. The rhythm, the flow, the little pauses. That's how real English breathes. You don't need complex words. You just need small sentences that feel alive in your mouth. Because every time you use English in daily life, you train your instincts, not just your memory. Here's a truth to remember. You don't learn to speak by being silent. You learn to speak by speaking again and again until your voice feels natural. So today, promise yourself one thing, that every single day you will say at least 10 sentences out loud to yourself, to your mirror, to the air around you. It doesn't matter if anyone listens. What matters is that you do, because every time you speak, your fear loses its power. Your words start to flow. Your confidence begins to return home. Speak before you're ready, because if you wait too long, you'll miss the moment your voice was born to find: pronunciation and natural flow. Now that you're speaking, even a little, it's time to listen to the sound of your own voice, because fluency isn't only about what you say. It's about how your words move through air, how they rise and fall, how they carry feeling, how they breathe. Many learners believe pronunciation means accent. They think they must sound British or American to be good. But that's not true. Clear pronunciation isn't about copying someone else. It's about allowing your words to travel cleanly from your heart to your lips. So let's begin there, not with rules, but with sound. Listen to how English breathes. Every word has rhythm. Every sentence has music. When you say, "I want to go to the park," don't rush it. Close your eyes. Feel the air leaving your chest, the soft vibration of your throat, the small movement of your tongue. Say it again, slowly. I want to go to the park. Let the sound stretch. Let it flow like water. Because when you slow down, your brain and your mouth finally meet. They stop fighting each other. They start dancing together. That's the secret of fluency, when thinking and speaking move at the same rhythm. Here's a small practice I want you to try tonight. Find one simple sentence. It could be, "I'm happy to see you," or "The rain sounds beautiful." Play that sentence from any video. Listen carefully. Repeat exactly what you hear. Copy the melody, the pauses, the rise and fall. Then record yourself. Listen again. Don't judge. Just notice. Notice where your sound feels natural and where it doesn't yet. That awareness, that quiet noticing, is how mastery begins. Fluency is not speed. Fluency is smoothness. It's the calm between words. It's the comfort of your mouth knowing what to do without asking permission from your mind. When you speak slowly and clearly, you give your listener space to feel your words. You give yourself time to breathe. And when you breathe, your confidence breathes with you. There will be days when your voice sounds awkward, when recordings make you cringe, when you think, "This doesn't sound like me." But that's not failure. That's the sound of progress. Every rough note means your brain is learning the tune. And one day, without even realizing it, you'll open your mouth, and English will come out like music you've always known. Remember this, you don't need a perfect accent. You just need a voice that's alive, a voice that moves with feeling, a voice that carries your story, a voice that can say, "I'm here," clearly, proudly, softly. So tonight, when the world is quiet, play one short English clip. Listen, repeat, record, listen again. Do it not to impress anyone, but to remind yourself that you're capable of sounding beautiful. Because you are. You always were. You just needed to slow down enough to hear it. Think in English. Up until now, you've been learning how to speak. You've been building confidence, practicing your voice, and finding courage in small daily moments. But true fluency, the kind that feels effortless and free, begins somewhere deeper. It begins not in your mouth, but in your mind. You see, most learners don't struggle because they don't know enough words. They struggle because they're trapped in translation. Every time they want to say something, their brain takes a detour, thinking in one language, translating to another, and then waiting for permission to speak. It's like trying to dance while watching your own feet. You move, but not freely. You speak, but not naturally. So today, we begin something new. We learn to think directly in English. No translation, no middle step, no waiting. Just thought becoming language, and language becoming life. At first, it will feel strange. You'll reach for words, and they won't be there yet. You'll pause mid-sentence, searching for meaning between two languages. That's okay. That confusion isn't failure. It's transformation. Your brain is rewiring itself, building new pathways between thought and expression. Let it happen. Start with small things. When you wake up before touching your phone, open your eyes and let the first thought of the day come in English. Something simple, something real. I'm awake. The morning feels quiet. I want to stay in bed for 5 more minutes. Don't worry if the words sound broken. You're not writing poetry, you're building connection. Every small sentence is a step from silence to fluency. As you move through your day, try naming what you see. You pour water, think water. You see sunlight, think sunlight. You open the door, think door. Don't translate. Just call things by their English names, as if your mind is painting the world with new colors. Then, begin to build small sentences from those words. The door is open. The water is cold. The sunlight feels warm on my face. The moment you say these things, English stops being a foreign object. It becomes the lens through which you see your own life. And when you're ready, turn those small sentences into small stories. Talk to yourself about your day. I woke up late today. I made tea and forgot the sugar. Then I smiled because it still tasted good. These are not lessons. They're memories written in English. And when you live them like this every day, you'll realize you no longer need to think twice. Here's something powerful you can do tonight. Sit quietly for a few minutes before sleeping. Close your eyes. Replay your entire day, but in English. From morning to night, recall every moment you can. Use simple words, small sentences. Nothing fancy. I woke up, I brushed my teeth, I met my friend. We talked about the weather. I came home. Now I'm tired. Say it softly, as if you're whispering to yourself. You'll feel your mind shifting, slowly turning toward a new rhythm of thought. Do this every night, and you'll notice something within a few weeks. English will no longer arrive after your thoughts. It will arrive with them. You'll see something, and the English word will appear instantly. You'll feel something, and the English phrase will follow naturally. That's when you'll know you're not just learning English anymore, you're living it. Thinking in English isn't about speed. It's about peace. The peace of not needing to switch between worlds anymore. It's the quiet joy of saying what you feel without waiting for translation to catch up. And when that happens, you'll feel light, as if your thoughts finally found a home that fits. You'll realize that language was never a wall. It was always a bridge. And you've been walking across it all along, step by step, word by word, breath by breath. So tonight, when you lay down to sleep, don't count the words you know. Count the moments you lived in English, because those are the real lessons. That's where fluency begins. Challenge. You've come a long way, my friend. You faced your fear, spoken through hesitation, and learned that language doesn't live in books. It lives inside you. You've practiced your voice. You felt the rhythm of words travel through your breath. And maybe, for the first time, you've realized that English is not a subject to study. It's a way to feel alive. Let me remind you of something powerful. English has never been your enemy. It never wanted to make you feel small. It only waited for you to stop being afraid, to stop chasing perfection, to stop thinking you needed permission to speak. Now, you know better. You know that fluency doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from showing up every day, even when you're tired, even when you feel unsure. So don't stop now. Because this is not the end. It's the beginning of your real fluency journey. From this moment, your mission is simple. Speak, listen, think, live in English every single day. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be honest. because honesty, not perfection, is what keeps language alive. And now I want to give you a small challenge, a promise you make to yourself. For the next 30 days, learn only 300 words. No more, no less. Use them in real life, in small talk, in journaling, in your thoughts. After 30 days, you won't just know English better. You'll become someone who speaks it naturally. 15 minutes a day. That's all it takes. 15 minutes to listen, to repeat, to breathe in the rhythm of this language. It's not about time. It's about trust, trusting that small daily effort creates lasting change. Because every time you open your mouth and speak, you are building something invisible, a bridge between who you were and who you are becoming. And every word you say adds another stone to that bridge. There will be days you feel slow. There will be days you doubt yourself. But remember this, the road to fluency is not straight. It curves, it pauses, it hums. And yet, it always moves forward as long as you do. So promise yourself that you will keep going, that you will show up for your dream, for your voice, for that quiet part of you that still believes you can. Because you can. You always could. And I'm right here, walking beside you, one sentence at a time. Before we finish, close your eyes for a moment. Breathe in slowly. Feel the air move through your chest. And whisper this softly to yourself. Mistakes don't matter. Effort matters. Every word I speak brings me closer to freedom. I am learning. I am growing. I am becoming fluent. Let those words sink in. Let them travel through your body like a quiet rhythm of faith. Because one day soon, you'll look back and realize the person who once feared speaking now speaks without thinking, without translation, without fear. That day will come. I promise you. Because English is not difficult. It's human. It's living. It's waiting for you. So go now. Go speak. Go live. Go claim the language that's already yours. You can do it. And I'll be right here, whispering in your ear, cheering for every word you say. 30 days, 300 words challenge. Comment below. Day 1, I start speaking today. And let the journey begin.